been pretty similar with most of them. I know some people like to take like long pauses, like you have your regulars like Nestor Cortez, or you got Johnny Cueto, of course, when he shimmies around. It's all about rhythm. Rhythm is definitely a big part of baseball.
He's fouled off to the left side. 2 balls, 1 strike. This is Nathaniel George Jr.
Just had to include the junior there.
Got it. Well, I mean, their official youth advocate is Nathaniel George. They each go by Nate as well. 2-2 coming from Jackson with 1 away. That one rides up and away from the zone for ball 1. Or 3-2, excuse me.
You know how like certain parents have like certain names that they kind of call their kids like if they're in trouble. I wonder if he goes by Nate, and then if Nathaniel's the go-to name if he's if he gets into a little bit of trouble there. I don't know if your parents ever did that to you, Kevin. But
I mean, I didn't have. My name is. I'm the first Kevin in my family.
Yeah.
So I have a weird name, as a lot of people would say, in terms of the commonality of it is not very high. As George Jr. works the walk.
For my parents, they would call me Fred, and then my.
Where does Fred come from?
I have no clue. That's just like when I was younger, I just wouldn't listen enough, so then that's what they would call me.
Did it get under your skin or something? That's why.
Yeah, that's probably it. So it's, I mean, that's a fun thing, as we see a lot of parents spectating their kids at this fun event, RBI baseball. It's kind of cool stories how like people get their nicknames or like certain names that they're kind of called for like being in trouble. So hopefully nobody's in trouble here. They're all good kids.
Yes, that's fouled off by Emmanuel Smith. He was Nate George's pick to click for this Gary team.
Yeah, Smith has already had himself a great day defensively. It's still so early on in the game. What we've seen here differently from the, if any of you guys were following us from the Chicago White Sox and Cubs game, there have been a lot of pick throws.
Runner goes, throw is going to go into center field. And racing for third goes George. Bryant's throw in there is on line, but in and out of the glove of Sanchez at third. That ended up being a lot closer than it probably looked at first. But now Gary Nike RBI has a runner on third.
Yeah, it was a great backup throw by the center fielder there. The ball looked like it was going to travel all the way out, and Gary was going to get their first run of the day via some wild airing throws, but able to just keep him at third.
Smith fouls that one off to the left side. Good battle here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 away. Kansas City got a runner on with the leadoff hit from Ali Bishop Oliver, their shortstop, but then 2 flyouts and a strikeout to end the visitors' half of the first inning. We're in the bottom of the first right now, game 2 of 4 on the day. Swing and a pop-up on the infield. The pitcher Jackson calls off the infield and makes the catch for out number 2. He's doing it himself so far. He's now has a put-out and an assist to his name in the defensive scorecard.
Yeah, that's just been his show right now defensively. We'll see if anybody else from the Kansas City Royals RBI team helps out defensively within this first inning, but hey, sometimes you just got to take out the garbage yourself.
RVA Ford, the third baseman, steps in. Takes a strike.
A good check swing by RVA. It's one of those that are right there. Kind of bite yourself a little bit because you're like, ah, man, that was a good pitch to swing at, but hey. That's why we got 3 strikes in this game.
Exactly. 2-1's the count here for RVA Ford. Make it 3-1.
Man, this kid's got just a really good eye up on the plate. He's just taking his time, looking for a pitch to hit.
3-1. Fouls it off.
You know, from this high up, you can't really judge if a pitch is going to be a ball or a strike. I mean, you can, but you can't. I mean, to some degree. I think that one was going to be a bit of a ball.
Strike 3 called. Fastball with outside in run. And Jackson works around the runner on third. We played an inning, no score here on WCSN 2. We're on the top of inning number 2. Kevin Malater, James Winkin. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for dealing with some early technical difficulties here. Game 2 of 4 on the day here on the Windy City Sports Network 2 channel. We have softball, 5 games for you all throughout the day here on WCSN 1. They're playing their games right across the street from James and I at Flames Field. As it's a 1-ball count here. Dante Finley. There is a set of triplets on this Royals team. As Finley is one of them.
It's very interesting how set of triplets. I'm sure if you're a teammate of them, you get to know them and be very close with them, so you know each and every one of them and can figure out the differences. But I'm sure introducing them at first, it was probably very confusing for a lot of the coaches and a lot of the staff, a lot of the players as well, figuring out who was who. So lots of communication that had to go into figuring out who was who, and also that it's definitely a team effort, and definitely talking about how that might work defensively with that.
Dante Finley grounds one weekly to second. Scott has to hurry, and he gets him by a step. Nice play there by the Gary second baseman, and there's one gone. And so far, that was the big question mark about this Gary team, James, was, all right, we know they're going to be we know they're going to try hard. We know that they're going to be a team that, you know, is going to win, and they're going to try their best and do whatever they can to win. But when you're a team playing in a tournament like this for the first time, you know, what are the emotions like? What have then how they come out physically early on? So far, the physical signs have been good. They've played a clean inning and a third of baseball so far, which is very difficult normally for a lot of first-year teams.
Yeah, a lot of first-year teams, definitely. There's a lot of mental errors that are showing up on the field, but Gary has just been playing with a very clean slate. Like, of course, it's a very
I mean, it's early.
yeah, it's very low. It's very early, very low set of numbers to deal with data-wise. But I mean, from the collection that we have, Gary has been on point, and they've just been able to very much so defensively come together as a group. Now it's just always to the bats and see if they can get those going within these next few innings.
2-1's the count. This is looped into short left field off the bat of Lanier, and it's down for a base hit. Logan Lanier, the catcher for this KC team, has the Royals Nike RBI side second hit of the ballgame.
Logan Lanier, he's able to just get some good contact on that ball. It travels out a little bit further to left field, but it just sticks to landing. I'm sure the left fielder there probably could have run on in, maybe made a diving play, but then you're kind of risking it.
Especially
also.
with no backup.
Especially
there,
no backup there, 1 out. You don't want to make sure that this that the Royals have their first run already on the board this time.
This is the designated hitter, Dominic Johnson.
It's a lot better for him to be at first than at second or third by now.
Johnson just graduated from Ruskin High School, a product of Sugar Creek, Missouri. And he goes up 2 balls and no strikes in this at bat.
I love the name of Sugar Creek. It's very soothing to the tongue.
There's also, have you heard of Sugarland, Texas?
I have.
The Space Cowboys.
Yeah, Space Cowboys. I'm pretty sure that's also where Travis Scott grew up in.
Yeah, and a couple of guys in last night's derby used Travis Scott as their walk-up song and the song they're playing during last night's home run derby.
Yeah, lots of different variety of music. We got a lot of country, a lot of rap, lots of
It was a fun mix
a
last
little
night.
bit R&B as well.
I agree.
I didn't really hear too much pop though, but we did hear a lot of pop with the bats.
Yes, we did. Snap throw back to first, not in time. Diving in there is Lanier. 3-ball count here for Johnson, who hasn't really seen a competitive pitch up from Pineda, who so far has been a good job attacking the strike zone. Even when he's given up the 2 hits, he's been attacking the zone at the very least, which is all you can ask for from a pitcher in this outing.
Yeah, very much so. He's just attacking the zone. I mean, even though you have those 2 hits.
Runner goes, strike 1, throw down to second, not in time. Give Lanier a stolen base.
That's some great speed by the kid there. He's able to just, again, the Royals are able to put a man up on second. First time was through wild pitching, this time just stealing. But now they're really playing with making sure that they strike first.
Joseph Carter, the courtesy runners. That's grounded through the right side for a base hit. Carter around third. He's going to get a late stop sign there from Donche Finley. And they're on the corners here for Royals Nike RBI.
And this is a great sign for the Royals to open up just like this. Runners on the corners. Now they're really playing with Gary, Indiana's heart right now. Of course, still really early on in the game, but, I mean, these kids just come out to swing. They already got 3 hits on the day.
Time is called as we see a visit here from member of the Erie coaching staff with our home plate umpire today. Dondre Finley, the right fielder, will now come on up. Finley with an opportunity here to drive in the game's opening run. The Royals Nike RBI softball team on hand, walking down the first base concourse right now.
If you guys have just been keeping up, we already saw his brother, one of the 3 triplets, already up. He had that out in this inning already, so hopefully he's able to score.
He pops up the bunt and it lands about 10 rows up. It's impressive to not, well, A, pop up a bunt, but also B, pop up a bunt and clear the protective netting behind home.
Yeah, I mean, composite bats can do so much, but also, like, I mean, it brings in a little bit of a factor, but that is just impressive. It's just also the velocity of the pitcher, as well as the bat, as well as the placement. There's a lot of factors that go into why that ball traveled all the way up about 10 rows kind of close by our box.
0-1, runner on the move again. That one gets away. Not enough, though, for the runner in Carter to come home. Johnson takes second on the play. So now 2 in scoring position here for the Royals.
That one looked like it clipped him, but they're just going to keep on playing. I thought that I heard some snapping noise, but it was probably just the ball hitting the backstop.
Could have been the mid as well, maybe?
That too.
1-1 to Finley. Inside, and really clipped him again for the second straight pitch. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Pineda out there. Right-handed pitcher representing Gary, getting the ball in their first ever game. They're wearing the green jerseys and have a nod to the Gary South Shore Railcats, who have been a big support system for the program. 3-1 now to Finley.
Pineda seems to lose some balance on that last throw. He kind of just spins all the way around, hoping that he's able to just complete his fall and throw a strike here, as the count just isn't in his favor at all.
All 4, and they're loaded.
So if you're Kansas City right now, this is a really good moment for you. You got 3 ducks in the pond. You're going from last year it being an 0-4 record in this tournament and a huge run differential in the negatives. If you're able to score here and build upon this game, that could be a huge momentum change and push them to the top with all of this momentum that they have scoring.
Jordan Jackson takes that one high for a ball. 2 games in so far that have gone final. James and I saw one of them. Red Sox Nike RBI winning 7-4 over Cubs Nike RBI. And then Milwaukee, welcome back to the Central Regional Tournament. 13-1 victory over Minnesota.
Wow, and we just want to congrats Milwaukee on that victory there. They just clobbered Minnesota 13-1. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, hey, we're here in 2018. We're just going to be knocking on your door. It's like, hey, we're here.
And we'll see them a couple of times tomorrow. I mean, they're a team that, as Jackson cuts and misses, 2 balls, 2 strikes. They're a team that has gone to an RBI World Series way back in 2016, nearly a decade ago. But they were there representing the Central Region back then.
Yeah, and to have Milwaukee back, it's just an amazing thing to see. I mean, to have that in 2016 and they're going to be almost a decade later coming back, we hope for the best for them. We hope for the best for all of these kids and all of these teams. But unfortunately, within tournament play, there's only one winner.
Yeah. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. Pineda needs an out here badly. He's got 1 on the board, but 3 on base. The pitch. Downstairs for ball 4. It's a bases loaded walk, and Kansas City strikes first. Jordan Jackson, Royals Nike RBI's first RBI of the tournament. See what I did there?
Yeah.
It's 1-0.
You could also call that RBI squared.
Oh, that's good. I like that. I like that. I'll use it next time. Ali Bishop Oliver now. He's the top of the order to let off the ball game with the first pitch single back up the middle.
Let's see what he does here. I mean, he has such good contact. He has such a great swing to the ball.
Taps it foul towards the third base dugout.
Again, he's just going off after it. He's, again, being aggressive with the baseball. And that's what you want to do with only 1 out here. You want to just kind of swing away. Of course, like, with it being only the 2nd inning, you can get away with definitely swinging for the fences.
And long hold, the 0-1. Inside a curve. And we're talking about the triplets. Well, Ali's younger brother, Alameen Bishop Oliver, is on this Royals team as well. Born a year later.
Lots of brothers, and I mean, it makes sense. If you're a family that's really big, you're gonna want to make sure that everybody else is on that team.
That's crushed. It's off the middle of the shortstop Segura. And he doesn't have a play. It's 2-0. Bishop Oliver has himself an infield single. An early insurance run for Royals Nike RBI.
Yeah, the Royals did not come to play today. They are they're not here to mess around. They're here for serious business and business only. I mean, sure, they're in their jerseys, but you could just put them in suits and ties right now and just put them on Rockefeller because they are here for strictly business.
Here's Saron Bryant. Bryant hard on the ground to the right side. Scott, the second baseman, goes there for one. On to first, throw gets away. 1 run and a score. Jackson pumps the brakes at third as Bryant takes second on the errant throw, so it's 3-0.
Yeah, a little bit of a pause there by Bryant. He kind of just doesn't know what's happening a little bit on the base paths, but then again, a lot of Gary, Indiana's team is very much so confused on the base paths as well, and it's one of those situations where someone has to give, and Bryant is able to come up there replacing and getting to second base.
So it's 3-0 KC right now as Sanchez comes up. 2 runners, both in scoring position. It's a fielder's choice and an E6. He does get the RBI for it.
And a good RBI, rightfully deserved there.
Sanchez flew out to center as part of a stretch in which Gary and Pineda retired 4 straight. As he cuts and misses there, evens out the count at 1 aside.
Yeah, it's kind of the day and night situation that a lot of baseball games definitely have. The pitchers definitely will go to. They'll have that one inning that they're feeling very confident in, and then the next they're kind of just giving up a lot of runs. But I mean, it's still very early in the game, as said multiple times. He's a pitcher that's going to be a workhorse. He's going to push through it and be able to make sure that if it does get to a little bit more than 3 or 4, he's going to make sure that the Royals are stuck with that specific number, and hopefully he's able to not let up anymore.
3-1 to count. Sanchez was the Royals' home run derby participant. Why not at this point? Ball 4. Whoa. That was very close. Royals fans will take it. Gary fans might not like that one. And the bases are full once again.
Yeah, Gary fans are a little bit timid on that specific call of what the umpire was seeing there. Everybody else kind of thought it was a strike, and even the pitcher, Pineda, he kind of pauses up.
Flowing in the air to left. Gorham there. He's got it. The inning will come to a close, but Kansas City strikes first from a 3 spot here in the top of inning number 2. Last of the second with Gary coming back to bat when you return on the Windy City Sports Network 2. Last of the second here from Curtis Granderson Stadium. 3-0 as Royals Nike RBI had a crooked number in the top half of this frame. Angel De La Cerda, the catcher of this Gary side, swings first pitch and pops it foul. Gary had an opportunity to score the game's first run in the bottom of the first. They had a guy on third with only one out, and they weren't able to bring him in.
Yeah, it's kind of like matching some puzzle pieces together, or just like if you look at the first inning, Kansas City had that first chance to score with a person on second, and then you had Gary have that same thing happen to them, and then Kansas City has a three-piece. Maybe Gary has a three-piece of it themselves in this inning.
1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. And they're going to call him out on the tag there by Lanier. So there's out number 1. Back-to-back Ks there for Tyler Jackson, who settled in very nicely here early on.
Yeah, Jackson has just been very much so just settling on in. He kind of feels like he's able to just sit back, relax, put up the headrest a little bit.
Line drive that drops in front of the third baseman Sanchez, but he throws it away, out of play. And Pineda, the pitcher, will have himself second base. We'll wait to see what the ruling is there. It's going to be error there on Sanchez.
Sanchez is able to just gobble up that ground ball, but then he just airmails it out. Pineda is able to take advantage of that and make sure that he's in scoring position early on in the game.
Segura grounds that one hard to the right side. Finley gobbles it up, flips it to first for the second out of the frame. Pineda up to third on the advancement. So Ahmad Sweezer now will come on up. Gary Nike RBI, another opportunity here for runner on third.
It's always cool seeing all of these individuals with their certain gear, as Sweezer has that black arm sleeve that he has. Lots of players now incorporating themselves to have the runner's oven mitts.
Popped up right side. Navarro gives chase, runs out of open real estate out there. And it's a strike.
I'm kind of curious what to see what's next within the game of baseball and equipment. I feel like we have a lot, but I'm kind of curious what is going to be next if baseball players start wearing like cool. I guess. Well, the catchers already have the knee pads, but we'll see.
They appeal, he went. And that will end the frame. So we've played 2. It's 3-0 Kansas City here on WCSN 2. top three. 3-0 Kansas City. Gavin Malater, James Winkin. Second game of our Friday quadruple header. That's a hard hit ground ball. Nice play there at first by Squeezer. Great play there at first, and there's one gone.
What an amazing play by Squeezer there. Squeezer the squeezer. He's able to just squeeze onto that baseball and able to just secure that first out this top half of the third inning.
So one gone. Logan Lanier comes on up. He was the guy who started it all for Kansas City in the second. He had a one-out single, and later came around to score. Inning for the Royals Nike RBI side as he grounds that one back up the middle. Segura charges it, gets under his mitt and in the outfield. That's going to be an error, the second one for Gary, or third, I beg your pardon. Unfortunate there, as that probably would have been out number 2.
Yeah, it was definitely going to be out number 2 there. Unfortunate that that ball just goes right underneath the glove. Gary is just, of course, we talked about those mental errors. They're starting to sneak up on them, and they're now at their third error of this ball game.
That's unfortunate for the team that had a really clean first inning defensively. Like I said, though, going back as Dominic Johnson, the DH, comes on up with one out and the runner on first. Pineda will check on him, and he threw it away. Lanier hustling, and he'll hold at second base. So Lanier has reached second base on an E6 and an E1.
Lanier, a great turn, just looking to see if he could possibly reach third, then comes on back to second as Lanedo just throws that ball away. Second one of the day, unfortunately. So now we have another runner in scoring position for Kansas City, and we'll see if they're able to capitalize.
Johnson singled, stole a bag his last time up. First offering to him. Upstairs for a ball. Like I said, though, that second inning for Kansas City. 3 runs on 3 hits. They were benefited from an error made at short by Segura. That was in the second. Here's the 1-0. Johnson takes a strike. It's 1-1. Bottom of the order. Bottom 4 hitters have all reached base. That's 6 through 9 in this Kansas City lineup. Johnson cranks it, but it's foul off of first.
Good piece. He's able to just get that opposite field, but it just keeps slicing all the way into foul territory. Johnson's got a really good barrel to bat ratio there.
The Sugar Creek, Missouri native will await a 1-2 offering here in a moment as Pineda steps off.
You know, Pineda is kind of experiencing a full circle moment that you kind of experience. You go from the second inning to the third inning.
Big cut there and a big strikeout.
But you go from the second to the third inning and you have these same guys that you just faced an inning ago, and you're like, huh, now what can I work with? I've seen what they can hit, what they're taking. You kind of go from that and you realize, okay, now I just need to fix up some pieces, maybe paint the corners a little bit.
So Dondre Finley will come on up, the right fielder and the 8-hole man in the lineup. 2 out, runner on second. First pitch fastball just misses above the letters on that Kansas City Royals blue jersey. It's a big strikeout though for Pineda. Did he need that? 1-1 now.
Yeah, Pineda pushing himself to finally get a strikeout there. Maybe it just helps him to complete himself and push himself to get more and more strikeouts as the game lingers on.
Kick in the 1-1. Outside corner, just missed. Wasn't by much. Pineda just smiling and shaking his head right now. That's one of those feelings as a pitcher where even if it might be a little bit off, you're just like, man, help me out here.
Yeah, you're definitely wanting to have the call go in your favor as a pitcher, especially when you're trying to plant those corners.
That's roped down the right field line. That's a fair ball. all the way to the corner off the bat of Finley. Carter comes in to score. Finley on his way for third. Relay throw is not in time. It's an RBI triple for Dondre Finley, and it's 4-0 Kansas City.
What an amazing cut at the bat by Dondre Finley, and now he's celebrating all the way at third. That ball was just slicing in the corner. He just keeps running and goes off of his horse. Man. This bottom part of this Kansas City RBI team has just been very much up about it, and very much so giving Mineta a struggle.
The bottom of the Kansas City lineup after that last triple, as Jackson takes that one high, is 3 for 5 so far, with 2 walks, 2 RBIs, and have scored all 4 runs.
You would think like the heart of the lineup, usually when you're watching baseball, that's the part that scores the most. But this team, I mean, that bottom 4, they're getting 3 for 5 and 2 walks. They're able to just keep on scoring and keep going across the base paths. They're just giving Mineta just the hardest time of his life right now.
2-1. Jackson takes a curveball, and it's in there for strike 2. Top of the order on deck.
It's one of those things as a coach, you kind of like, yeah, maybe sprinkle in some guys later on. Because baseball is always just a mental game. So maybe sprinkle those heavy hitters later on, and those pitchers will just think that, oh, they're a little bit easier to deal with. I'll just paint it over the part of the plate, and then they get to swinging, and they're able to just keep on scoring.
Runner now coming for the plate. The throw, not in time. Finley steals home.
Wow, what an amazing running start from Finley. He just keeps on going. Such situational baseball. He's so heads up and able to deke out all of Gary Indy right now.
Dondre Finley fired up there at that third base coach's box. 5-0 Kansas City.
This seems to be like a whole different team of Kansas City from last year to this year. Of course, this is their first game of the day, but still, having it be 5-0 in this tournament this early on, it gives some really bright lights as towards the end of the tunnel.
Three and 2, and that was what they talked about coming into this tournament. Ryan Sikora sat down with Dondre Finley, their first-year skipper, and it's his 5th year in the program as Jackson worked the walk. And they said the biggest storyline is that we want this tournament, regardless of what happens, we want this tournament to be about our energy and our effort, and it's on display here in Game 1.
Yeah, a lot of energy and effort has been on display, not just on the field, but also on the benches, as every single one of them are standing up and cheering each other on. It's a beautiful day for baseball.
Ali Bishop Oliver, top of the order man with 2 outs and a runner on first. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Ali looking to be a bit more aggressive there.
He's got a pair of singles. One of them drove in a run. Oh, 1. On the ground, left side. Segura goes the short way, and that will end the inning. But Kansas City, the Royals Nike RBI team, tacks on 2 more, highlighted by Dondre Finley's acrobatics, an RBI triple, and a steal of home. We go to the last of the third right after this. Bottom of the inning, number 3. Royals Nike RBI with all the momentum right now. His first pitch swinging is Zane Scott into foul territory. Navarro just missed it. He bangs into the sidewall and nearly made a great catch.
Navarro is just hustling all the way over. Navarro just hustling all the way over, and he's almost about to make the grab, but just not quite there. Hits a side frame and a little bit of frustration as he knows he could have gotten that one.
0-1. Down and away. Zane Scott's the second baseman. Top of the order on deck. 1-2. Good fastball there. Jackson so far has been commanding the strike zone with that fastball, James. He's been really good.
Yeah, this fastball has just been really commanding. I mean, he's able to just get every single one of them out here. There's been a little bit of hitting on display here and there as balls in play, but as for Gary, no hits as of now.
That one is in and out of the middle. Sanchez bobbles, throw is low and safe there at first. Is Zane Scott with the first hit of the tournament for Gary Nike RBI.
And now we have the first hit right there for Gary. Just amazing piece of contact there, a little bit bobbled by the third baseman, and looks like he's able to beat that out just right there.
I stand corrected. They ruled it an error.
Another error on the defense. That's what I thought it was going to actually be at first, and then
I thought because of how hard it was hit, that's why they would rule it a hit. That ball was hit hard.
It was definitely hit hard, but it was literally in the mid and then dropped by the third baseman, and then.
We're on the move. That one's lined in the air to center. Bryant charging. It's down in front of him for a base hit. They have the force out there at second, and he's safe. So now there's the first hit for Gary Nike RBI. A batter later from the top of the order man, Ellis Gorham.
Great piece of hitting by Ellis Gorham right there. And now Gary, Indiana, is able to get their first hit of the ball game. We'll see how they can capitalize with 2 on first and second.
Nate George Jr. at the dish. Rolls over the first pitch. George walked, stole second base, and advanced to third on an errant throw by Lanier, the catcher. It's quickly 0-2. Gary Nike RBI, the fan base here making some noise, trying to breathe some life in this team. George fights that one off. Great play. Discipline there. Knew it was going to be a strike and just popped it up and kept himself alive.
Yeah, with 2 strikes on you, you just got to make sure that anything close is making contact with the bat, no matter if it's going to be fair or foul.
0-2. Good leave.
Some great discipline there.
Right fielder. Safe there at second on the snap throw from Jackson. Finley, Dante Finley that is the one covering. 2 runners on, no one out here for Gary in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Brian Jackson, nice snag, goes to second for 1 there. Throw to first, gets away. Around 3rd, coming in to score will be Scott. It's 5-1 as they end up throwing it to 3rd because the runner was leaving the field, which allowed George to get to second base safely.
Yeah, George Jr. had a great piece of contact there. He's able to get the second safely. Just on the arid throw, unfortunately, we're just trying to get it to be a double play. But Kansas City Royals RBI team unfortunately throw that one away, and Gary is able to capitalize on their first run of the game and first run of the tournament.
So it will be a fielder's choice coupled with an error at second base. No RBI. So 3rd error of the game. These 2 teams have combined for 7 errors thus far.
Yeah, it's one thing that is very different from the game prior, from the Cubs and the White Sox game. Not many errors in that one.
Very clean game,
very
yeah.
clean. This one has just been a little bit all over the place defensively, but I mean, it hasn't been one-sided where one team has thrown abundance of errors.
That's towering drive to right field towards the foul pole, but it's just foul. It hooked at the last possible second as Emmanuel Smith nearly hit a long 2-run homer.
That would have closed the gap even further.
Takes that one, it's ball 4. He was swinging 3-0 as well.
Yeah, I mean, some hitters, they love that 3-0 count because it's just right over the middle that pitcher is going to throw. They know that that's going to happen. A lot of players, though, they tend to just take that pitch.
So now with 2 runners on, it'll be RVA Ford, the 3rd baseman, as a quick meeting will be conducted by the catcher Lanier with his battery mate in Tyler Jackson. That run, by the way, is unearned for Jackson because the runner who scored reached on an error.
Yeah, very, lots of things were happening with the different types of errors. You have one that reaches on an error, and then another, that's the fielder's choice, and then a throwing error. So 2 already for Kansas City in just this inning, and then Gary has had a lot. But yeah, back to what I was saying. There's been a lot of errors, but both sides have been evenly matched up on the portion of errors that they have, with Gary, of course, having a little bit more. That's, of course, coming with inexperience within this tournament, and possibly because of nerves as well.
There's a strike there, and it's 1-2. Ford struck out looking to end the 1st inning. 5-1 scoreline right now in favor of Kansas City. The pitch. Popped up straight back, nearly got over, nearly came into the Granderson suite here at Curtis Granderson Stadium.
Looking for that first souvenir ball. It hasn't happened MLB-wise, and it hasn't happened commentary-wise yet.
And I will tell you, this is year 3 of us doing this tournament. That one nearly clips the helmet of the batter, so it's 2-2. We have not gotten a foul ball yet. Hasn't happened.
It's a very rare oddity because it has to go at a certain angle, though. I mean, most of them are just always on top of our roof.
It has to get over, but then be low enough to hang. That's a pop-up foul right side. The count remains 2-2.
It's a great fight by RVA right here. He's just making sure each pitch he takes.
2-2. Fouls it off, stays alive again. And we don't have any more baseballs, so time was gone.
There we are. You got some baseballs
Got
down
one.
there. Got one.
If he fouls it off, we're really in trouble.
Oh, you got a few down there at the dugout.
Ah.
Gary's dugout. One for now there's just raining baseballs everywhere.
I think everyone's just been pocketing them, and now it's like, oh, we got to give them back.
Yeah.
Can't keep them. Can't give
Sorry.
them away to the fans in attendance.
Sorry guys, no no souvenirs for y'all.
You and I would have to give it back as well if we get the ball.
Oh
you know
yeah,
that, right?
yeah.
All right, just want to make sure you knew that now. 2-2. That's ball 3 on a fastball.
Yeah, no, Javier has just been working up his pitcher's pitch count as much as possible. Jackson just kind of staring in awe, trying to figure out what pitch should I pitch next.
Some comes set, the pitch. Called, strike 3. Good battle, but Jackson wins it, and there's 2 away.
And whatever he thought, that was the right thing to think, because Jackson was able to just shoot down with the fastball, kind of right down the middle, and just keep Javier just, I think he was looking for a little bit of a walk there after being fatigued with at least that 10 pitch at bat there. It's some give and go, definitely, but the pitcher is able to come out victorious in that battle.
Lacerda waves at that curveball for strike 1. Struck out swinging to begin the second inning of play. 0-1. In the dirt, good block there from Lanier. I should really say in the turf, not in the dirt, but
I mean,
it's the same thing.
I mean, the saying goes both ways. I mean, most people just say in the dirt, even though it's a turf field. I'm sure a lot of commentators do as well, because in the turf doesn't have that much of a ring to it.
In the air, center field, Bryant chasing after it, going out there and making a great catch is Dante Finley. The second baseman shows off the range and makes a great play to end the inning. We have played 3. Gary's on the board. It's 5-1 Royals Nike RBI here on the Windy City Sports Network. Fourth inning of play here at Curtis Granderson Stadium. Second of 4 games today, and the first pitch misses to Saron Bryant. RBI fielder's choices last time up. 0 for 2 officially, though. Of his side winning 5-1. Got on a miss there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bryant playing center field today for the Royals Nike RBI team. So far, 3 innings down in the tournament. They said they wanted energy, they said they wanted effort, and so far, James, they've gotten it.
Yeah, definitely a lot of energy, definitely a lot of effort from everyone and anyone within this Kansas City Royals RBI team, especially within that bottom 4 of that lineup as we've been talking about. Hopefully, that middle and heart of that lineup can get going a little bit more so for Kansas City, but everything seems to be working for them. Pitching, defense, definitely offense.
1-2, good block there from De La Cerda. Two, 3, 4 here in the Kansas City fourth. The top 5 really have struggled for this Royals Nike RBI team so far. Bryant hooks that one, but it's foul.
Yeah, great piece of contact there. It just hooks all the way foul. Just pulls it and yanks it to that left wall.
Two balls, 2 strikes is the count. The pitch. Just missed on a breaking ball.
It's one of those calls that seems to be a little bit 50-50 again. I mean, a lot of things not going their way for Gary Indiana's pitching.
There's a high fly ball to left field towards the foul line, and corner goes Gorham, and he makes the catch for out number 1.
Great catch by Gorham there. He's able to just get under that. A lot of these baseballs, again, have just been hanging on out and kind of just swinging their feet out, kind of just kicking.
Here's Sanchez. 0 for 1 for walk. He's off that one for a ball. Flew out to center field back in the first inning. Kick in the 1-0. 2-0. We're talking about favorite foods earlier in the broadcast. And in our earlier game as well, between Cubs and White Sox, the Nike RBI programs here in Chicago. And Sanchez, and I quote, said his favorite game day snack is a good old glizzy, aka a hot dog.
The good old glizzy is always a go-to snack.
Great ballpark food.
It's one of those ballpark foods that's always going to be a classic. The one unfortunate part, I wish Wrigley would keep the prices down low. It's probably like $7 or $8 for a hot dog. So I got to just make mine own at home that are probably more so $1.50 a piece.
I don't trust your cooking, so I'm doing the Wrigley dog
well,
every day
okay,
of the week.
but if all you got to do for a hot dog is put it in the boiling water, and then you're good on that part. It's a pretty easy source.
You and I have been friends for a long time. I still don't know.
I'm a good cook. You just haven't tried my cooking yet.
I trust your mom's cooking.
Yeah,
my mom's cooking is awesome. Strike one there to Navarro, who's 0 for 2.
You know, I feel like a lot of these kids, they have like their basic foods, but you know, if anybody knows what pancit is, of course, you know what pancit is, but it's a Filipino dish. It's basically noodles mixed within some greens, some meat of some sort. Sometimes it's vegetarian pancit as well at parties, but that's a dish that my mom loves to cook, and it's definitely one that I've always loved.
Off the end of the bat, out of play, left side from Navarro. 0-2 count, 1 out, runner on first here for the heart of the Royals Nike RBI lineup. Navarro struck out swinging to end the first, flew out to left to end the second.
Yeah, you always have. Sorry, just going back to the situation on food. I'm a little hungry myself as well, but you have those basics where it's like gummy bears or like hot dogs or just pizza.
That was a couple of the answers. Gummy bears was one of the answers.
Yeah,
we were talking about the earlier game
answer
for Jimmy Downs.
But it's a lot. It's definitely a lot of food options that not many people like know about. I'm not sure. It's cool seeing how like different cultures have different food.
Grounded to the right side. Scott goes to second for one. The relay throw is not in time. They get the lead man there. Navarro board on the fielder's choice, and there's 2 away.
Able to get the man at second there. The ball is just not having enough velocity to travel to the first baseman's mitt. Kansas City is able to reach base on a fielder's choice right there.
So 2 gone now. Here's Dante Finley. 0 for 2 performance in the 5 spot for him. He's been great though defensively today. He showed off the reins to end the last half inning. I mean, he was what, James? Probably 20, 25 feet out there in short right center making that catch from the second base spot.
Yeah, he had a lot of hustle out there. I mean, he's got a lot of speed, and he's able to cover a lot of ground out in that outfield. Hopefully his bat is able to get hot now. His brother's bat is definitely hotter than his right now, but hey, man, he's going to be a piece in the outfield, and hopefully he's able to get some pieces on that baseball.
In foul territory. That's caught out there by Sweezer to win the frame. Finley just got underneath it. And it's an uneventful 4th inning for Kansas City Royals Nike RBI. We go to the bottom of inning number 4. Halfway home in this one on the Windy City Sports Network. First pitch swinging, fouling it off is Pineda for strike 1. Bottom of the 4th. So we've crossed the half-point threshold in this one. 5-1, Kansas City Royals Nike RBI on top of Gary Nike RBI. Royals trying to win their first game since the 2022 tournament. They went 0-4 last year. It's their first game of pool play this year.
Yeah, it would be very huge for Kansas City to be able to come out roaring with a W on the boards in pool play for the first time since 2022. And it seems to be going all of their way right now. Slower inning in that top frame of the 4th offensively, but at second and third, definitely had them going and being very optimistic and very happy about the way that things are going very early on within this tournament.
2 balls and 2 strikes the count with no one away. The pitch. Called, strike 3 on a front door curveball. Another strikeout there for Tyler Jackson. That's his 5th.
Jackson just keeps pushing and shoving every single one of them, and he has already 5 Ks on the board. This man has just been dealing. He's a slinger out there.
So, Angel Segura comes on up. Rounded out to second in the second. That's his lone trip to the dish in this afternoon's game. I guess morning turned afternoon's game.
Yeah, a little bit of a morning turned afternoon. I mean,
to the right side, Finley charging. 2 out.
What's unfortunate about Gary's offense right now is that they're able to hit the ball, but it's not really producing any actual hits, just a lot of more so contact, lots of weak ground balls. There have been few in the outfield, but it's a lot of errors have helped them as well with scoring, as we've seen. So hopefully his team is able to produce more hits. I kind of leave the infield and go further out.
Sweezer comes on up in on the hands, and he fouls it into the third space dugout. A nice play there made by a member of the Royals bench who caught it on the fly.
You know, if there was a Savannah banana ball, I'm pretty sure that would
That's an out.
signify
That's
it's
an out. Yep.
Yeah. If any of you guys know Savannah banana ball, that's a little bit. It's basically a WWE version of
I would
baseball,
say
you
it's.
would say, right?
I would actually say it's more so. I think it's the baseball equivalent of the Harlem Globetrotters.
That makes more sense.
Except the same team doesn't win every time.
Yeah.
So hit by pitch there of Sweezer, puts a 2-out base runner there for Gary.
That's what makes the game more fun, though. Making sure that not every team wins every single time. Whereas like the Harlem Globetrotters, you're there for the show, of course, but the one thing that you're knowing is always the outcome.
I have the music now in my head from the Globetrotters. It's now just playing in my head. I'm not gonna sing it or hum it right now for you all at home.
Maybe we'll.
I'm not that brave.
Maybe we'll play it later on in the show.
We gotta make sure it's not copyrighted.
Oh yeah, that too.
Scott swings and misses.
Yeah, you just gotta go on YouTube, find the free version, and then you'll be safe.
Just the knockoff.
Yeah,
version.
the knockoff version.
2 strikes, 2 out, runner on first. Zane Scott, who has scored Gary's lone run in this game, takes that one upstairs. Breaking ball. On the ground to the left side. Sanchez, the third baseman, charges. The throw on the run is low and picked there, but it's not in time. No one was covering third, so a heads-up base running sees Sweezer go first to third on a ground ball to third. And they're on the corners, a 2 away.
Yeah, some great base running there by Sweezer, and then looked like it was going to be an out. First baseman just does the splits. He's almost going to get him out, but it's just safe and out. We got Gary Indiana's RBI team players on the corners.
Jay Finley and the second base umpire having some words right now. We're on the move for second. First pitch upstairs, and pocketing the first smartly is Lanier.
Yeah, Lanier just eats it there. I mean, pretty smart move there, checking the runner at third. Of course, now you have 2 in scoring position, but there's 2 outs already, so Jackson's just going to focus on the batter here.
The top of the order man, Ellis Gorham, who singled his last time up. That was an inning ago in the third. Gary trying to get back in this ball game here, and they have 2 runners on, both in scoring position, but it's 1 and 2 now.
And Gorham's got to protect here with that 1-2 count, 2 outs. We'll see what happens on this next pitch delivered by Jackson.
Wind the 1-2. Called strike 3. Fastball outside corner, freezes Gorham. And that will end the inning. Nice job there by Jackson, straining a pair of runners in scoring position. We go to the 5th, 5-1, KC on top. Top of inning number 5. 6, 7, 8 for the Royals. Nike RBI team due up. And first pitch swinging, Lanier grounds that one into left for a base hit. Lanier has reached base safely 3 times, including 2 base hits now.
And Lanier is near the trifecta right now. He has just been amazing to watch. Able to just squeeze that one by in the gap.
Dominic Johnson comes on up, 1 for 2 performance. Singled and a run scored in the 2nd. Struck out his last time up at the dish, which was in the 3rd. Tipped into the mid of De La Cerda for strike 1. Kansas City in the midst of a back-to-back. So obviously all these teams are playing double headers. But as that one is in and out of the middle of the catcher, and a second base on the play goes Lanier. He was running on the pitch, so it's a stolen base for him. So all these teams are playing double headers, so obviously that's already tough on the body. But the tough angle is the double header with the back-to-back, which is what they have to do here in a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a bit tougher with Kansas City having that back-to-back. I mean, all of these teams are going to be playing today no matter what, but having that back-to-back, not having too much rest, probably like a 30-minute rest period in between, you're going to want to make sure that you're fueled up, electrolytes, having a lot of things to eat, and then kind of what the positive side of this, though, is that they're in the driver's seat. You're kind of already down in the dumps, and you're having to try and make those transitions as quick as possible, trying to turn that switch that was off and turn it back on, and trying to teach yourself that it's going to be one game at a time, and everything's going to be okay. You just got to switch things off, switch some things, make some, tweak some kinks, and look for the brighter things in the future.
Johnson works the walk. Coming back, Kevin Malater, James Winkin. Apologies for the brief technical difficulties here.
For what?
Yes, we're experiencing the same crashes that Microsoft is today right now.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. I feel very bad for all of everybody that's traveling out right now, except for Southwest.
Southwest right now
Southwest
holding strong.
is the only one that's holding strong. I guess they're firm believers in the Apple. That well, everybody else has given Microsoft a chance, and that unfortunately today has not been the greatest thing for a lot of corporations, definitely with flights and lots of things to deal with. I want to say.
That's bunted from Finley, and everyone's safe. DeAndre Finley has a walk and a run scored, an RBI triple, and a steal of home, and now a bunt infield single.
He is just doing it all today. I mean, Finley, it's just a beautifully placed bunt. It doesn't roll. It just plops right down in front of the catcher, and the catcher is looking at third, trying to see if he's able to get out that lead runner, but everyone stays safe and is just staring in awe. You can't really do much about that when you place down a perfect bunt like that by Finley.
Jordan Jackson has worked 2 walks. One of them came with the bases loaded, so he's got an RBI today. He's up with the bases loaded for the 2nd time this afternoon. Corners come in as Jackson cuts and misses at a first pitch fastball.
Jackson looking to be the aggressor. I mean, why not? You have 0 outs. You're up 5-1, trying to make sure that you're able to get even more runs on that board and maybe even produce a mercy rule, of course, but still some time before that, and a lot more runs needed in order for that to happen.
If they need 6 here if they want to reach the mercy rule point.
Yeah.
0-2 with no one out. Pineda steps off. A couple of right-handers up there out and throwing in that left field bullpen for Gary right now. Big pitch here. Base is full. The pitch. Strike 3 called. Outside corner fastball. There's one gone.
Pineda is able to catch a break right there. He's able to get 1 out right on the board. Jackson probably looking for a walk right there. Of course, he already had 2 on the day. He's looking for another. But that first pitch, of course, was very aggressive of him to swing at, and then kind of leaves it up to Pineda for him to get called out on strikes.
Ali Bishop Oliver's the top of the order man. Hard hit ground ball. Segura got a piece of it, but everyone's safe. As Ali Bishop Oliver comes through his 2nd RBI of the game, and it's 6-1 Kansas City.
Some great contact there by Ali Bishop Oliver. I mean, all he had to do was just place that ball in play, and then shortstop had a little bit of a struggle there. Everybody's safe on all of the bases, and the Ducks are up on the pond.
They remain loaded. Stays in their station there as Saron Bryant comes up. 2 flyouts sandwich and RBI fielder's choice in the 2nd. Strike 1 there on a fastball. Johnson on 3rd, Finley on 2nd, and Bishop Oliver, who we just saw reach base a couple moments ago, standing there on 1st. Royals Nike RBI trying to bust it open here in the top of the 5th. That one's downstairs for a ball. Bryant waving his hand, telling Johnson, do not come home.
Yeah, we've already seen one person come home already, but we'll see. It's a little bit of a trickier situation when you have all 3 loaded up.
Another pitch in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike to count.
You know, there's a cheesy analogy that I kind of came up with in my head. You know how like bases are loaded. You could kind of remind them as nachos, and everything is loaded all in one. I know it doesn't make as much sense, but as
I've never heard of it, but I get it though. I get where you're coming from.
as a loaded nachos, you have loaded bases. And
Yeah, no, I get it.
I guess that would make more sense if there's players on the corners. The corner is a little bit like a chip. You have that triangular feature. I guess the hungerness is just getting to me.
2-1 on the ground, back to the mound. Pineda comes to the plate for the force out there. They'll lob it over and he throws it away. In to score is Finley. As Bishop Oliver goes to third. A bases loaded fielder's choice.
Yeah, those fielders' choices and those overthrows have just been keeping Gary from really doing anything, and for the Royals to just keep scoring here. It's just been a tough outing for them in their first game. I mean, hopefully they're able to clean up that slate as the game goes on, of course, but then also with their next game that they have.
Bryant on the move on the first pitch as Sanchez fouls it off. 7-1, Royals knock the RBI here, top of the fifth. Bishop Oliver on third, Bryant on first.
Usually with people at the corners, I'd say that Bryant is going to steal here.
He's on the move again, pitch blocked there by De La Cerda, but he'll eat the throw. And it's an easy SB there for Sharon Bryant.
I feel like that's just a classic thing that happens, especially in high school baseball. You don't really see it in the MLB too much with these corners because all of these catchers are, I mean, their pop times are just really low up there, so then they're able to just get it out quickly as possible. And it's a lot more risk than reward, but I feel in high school there's a lot more reward than risk.
2-1 the count. Yeah, to your point, I mean, the numbers of the first and third steals, the second and MLB have gone up since of the new pitch clock and disengagement rules for pitchers. The 2-1. Sanchez ropes that one. Deep left field. Going back is Gorham. Onto the track. He turns and he makes a spectacular catch. Tracking it down all the way to the outfield wall. And that will end the inning. But Kansas City tacks on two more. It's 7-1 Royals. Nike RBI. Bottom of the fifth is underway. 7-1. Kansas City on top over Gary. Game two of our quadruple header here on Windy City Sports Network 2. Gavin Laner, James Winkin. We're up early with you all. We're going to be up late with you all as well. Fun day, though, here at the Diamond as the 1-1 comes in, popped up off the end of the bat. And Sanchez, with their baseman, makes the catch for the out.
Sanchez able to just shift over and just easily corral that baseball.
That was Nate George Jr., the hitter. And now Emmanuel Smith, who walked his last time up, but he had a 3-0 fastball and nearly sent it to the next county, but it was foul by about 5 feet.
Yeah, just a little bit foul there, and hopefully he's able to just rope one here. I mean, he's got a lot of power. We just saw that displayed. It was just 5 feet. It's going off on the opposite side of fair territory, of course. But we'll see what happens if he's able to get another 3-0 count. Maybe some deja vu is in order.
Talking about Smith, Nate George, the youth advocate for Gary United KRBI, that one gets away. It's 2-0. He said, point out, he's definitely a guy we should be watching this weekend. Smith recently got a scholarship to Southern University down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
I would say congrats to him and congrats to his family on that scholarship there.
Cool feat, really, really cool feat. 3-0. Smith works his second walk of the game.
So instead of crushing another ball and it going foul or fair this time, he just ends up with the walk, and smart decision by him. Jackson, though, that's his first walk in a little bit. He's been very much so controlling the baseball and has a lot of punch outs.
Here's RVA Ford. He is a strikeout victor on several occasions as Smith swipes second base.
And Smith does a little bit of a swim move as well.
And now we have a call here that's going to be on Sanchez, a defensive block. So a stolen base, and the block there on Sanchez means the runner's at third with only one out.
A little bit of obstruction there. So now he's at third, and now we'll see what happens with Gary Indiana able to hopefully capitalize on this.
Jackson has 6 strikeouts on the mound. Ford has 2 of those 6 at the dish today. 1-1. Lifted in the air, deep right center field. Dondre Finley in the power alley makes the catch. Runner coming home, and he'll score without a throw. Sacrifice fly for RVA Ford, and at 7-2, he does the job well there, driving in that run from third.
Yeah, great job by Ford there. He's able to get the ball in play and make sure that he's getting the sacrifice fly, and Gary Indiana is able to put another piece on the board there. Hopefully they're able to capitalize even more this inning.
7-2 ball game now as Angel De La Cerda comes on up. He flies this one in the air, left center field. Jackson there to make the catch to end the inning. Gary gets a run back. That's all they get. We've played 5 complete here at Curtis Granderson Stadium. 7-2 the score. Last couple innings here between Gary and Kansas City. 7-2 the score. Gary Nike RBI got a run back in the last of the fifth on a sacrifice fly from RVA Ford, and now they look to try to take a little of that momentum and turn it to the defensive side of the ball, and they bring in Darian Wiggins to pitch here. The right-hander goes up 0-2 quickly on Miguel Navarro, the third baseman, who's 0 for 3, and he's reached on a fielder's choice.
Yeah, Navarro's just been struggling this whole entire game. I mean, the first pitch, he thought it was going to clip him, but he's called for a strike.
Fouled off, he stays alive. Navarro, Finley, Dante Finley, and Logan Lanier drew up here for the Royals Nike RBI team in the 6th. 0-2. Just missed. Went fastball low and in, and if it did indeed miss, it wasn't by much.
Yeah, very small margin of error there. I mean, don't know how much.
Line in the left center field. That's down for a base hit off the bat of Navarro. A wide turnaround first, but he'll hold there and be content with a leadoff single. Good two-strike approach there, going the other way.
Yeah, Navarro is able to just finally take a very deep breath and say that he's got his first hit of the day. And, you know, going from that 0-3 with just that walk, he's now able to get on base and just see what he can do on these base paths.
Ball and 2 strikes was the count when he got that base hit after a couple of foul balls as well.
Yeah, it was a pretty good battle by him, and then able to swing off, make contact, push it into a little bit of that gap.
Dante Finley, 0 for 2, or 0 for 3, I should say. One of his triplet brothers, Dondre, who's down in the 8th spot, is reached base all 3 times.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like the Maso Menos scenario, where you have your positives and then you have your negatives. That would definitely work with twins, but they're triplets. So I guess now.
And to be fair, he's had a really good day defensively
yes,
as well.
Very good day defensively. So it's one side where you have the defense, and then one side where you have the offense, and then maybe the other the other brother is for the pitching. So that would
all 3
assets of the game right there.
2-0 inside. 3 balls, no strikes. Finley, 2 groundouts and a pop out to his name on the scorecard tonight. Logan Lanier on deck. 3-0 pitch coming here from Wiggins. Right down the pipe for a strike.
And that's some good control by Wiggins. He's able to realize, hey, I'm 3-0 right now. I got to just make sure that I got 1 strike on this guy right here. So he's able to do that. We'll see what happens in this next pitch.
Wiggins ready, his 3-1. Ball 4, and Finley's aboard for the first time today. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, it definitely feels good for him. I mean, he's able to finally have that breathing room, kind of just like Navarro there. Both of them not being able to reach the bags before this inning, but they're able to do that just here right now. It comes a little bit later in the game, of course, but hey, building up upon that lead, and Kansas City just keeps on creeping away, just making sure that they're able to get even more insurance runs.
That one gets away. And both runners will advance on the wild pitch.
Well, that's the one downside as a pitcher. You always have those jitters with a person on second and then one on first. You have a person on second with the second baseman creeping just to try and find that pick play. You lose a bit of focus on that batter that's right ahead of you.
Lanier, 2 for 3 officially, 3 runs scored. He's also reached on an error. Wiggins set the 2-0. Down low, 3 balls and no strikes. They do have first base unoccupied. Sweezer, the first baseman, playing a couple of paces off the line there. You can see on the right side of your screen.
Yeah, Lanier can just do anything with this ball right here. He can just take it if he really wanted to, or swing.
Rio, straight take and strike 1. Not even thinking about picking the bat up with the shoulder there.
No, he's just looking for 1 strike, and Wiggins delivers on that one. Now he's possibly going to take that bat off the shoulders and swing, but has to be there.
Off the end of the bat in the air to right field. George charging in, Scott going out. Scott, the second baseman, makes the catch. Tagging for third comes Navarro, that throws up the line. Tag there, and they got him. Double play.
Amazing sequence of events by Gary, Indiana right there, able to get the first out on the pop fly and then throw him out at home. And those insurance runs that Kansas City really wanted, dim to none now.
So now, here's Dominic Johnson, the DH. Johnson has reached base twice and has also struck out. He scored a run as well. In and out of the mitt there of the catcher. And a third goes Finley on the wild pitch. Lacerda got out of his crouch, just wasn't in time.
Yeah, the baseball has not been Gary Indiana's best friend as of when it comes to pitching with runners on base. There's a lot of pass balls, especially within this top half of the 6th inning. You already see 2 happening right there.
Side for a ball. Two-0 pitch. Strike 1 there. 2-1. Strike there, 2-2. Wiggins has battled back nicely here.
Yeah, going back from that 2-0 now to that 2-2, he's able to just swing that pendulum back in his favor.
Finley creeps off of third. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ground ball back up the middle and through for a base hit. Dominic Johnson comes through with his first RBI. The second hit of the game makes it 8-2 Royals. Nike RBI.
A good piece by Johnson there. He's able to just put it into that gapper a little bit off that second base. And now the Royals are able to add another insurance run.
DeAndre Finley. What a day he's had the dish already. Steps off.
And Finley's been a cornerstone in this offense, definitely. I mean, this kid, he's done it all today.
Steps off again. Back in there safely is Johnson.
A little bit of a cha-cha slide. Stepping off, stepping on. The 3rd time.
Safe. Because it wasn't a throw.
It's a little bit of a glitch movement if someone is pressing this button.
Squaring a bunt, pulls it back, and there's the balk. And Johnson goes to second.
Wiggins a little confused on where the balk exactly was, but I mean, see when he was setting up,
I don't think it was set. I'm with you. I don't think it was set.
Yeah, it wasn't really set on that play.
Finley with the runner in scoring position now. Squaring a bunt with 2 outs. Is it just trying to throw off the pitcher here, or is it a legitimate bunt attempt that they're trying to drop down here?
I feel like it's trying to throw off the pitcher, especially with 2 outs. You kind of just, at this point, is playing with the pitcher's mind. I mean, Wiggins has been throwing a lot of balls recently.
Time is called. 2-ball count.
Kind of just seeing if Wiggins is able to throw a strike, then you just lay it down. But I mean, for the most part, I think that Finley was able to just kind of toying with Wiggins at this point.
Two-ball count. Here's the pitch. It's a delayed steal going for third as Johnson, and he's in there safely.
What a great steal move by Johnson there. He's able to just read his coach's signs and also make sure that Gary isn't sleeping over there. They catch him sleeping, though, so he's able to just steal that base easily. Now we have another person in scoring position, 90 feet closer to home.
3-0. Ball 4, Finley's aboard.
Now Wiggins kind of has to get out of his head a little bit, just trying to paint a picture in a clean slate. I mean, he's got 2 on, 2 outs. You just got to kind of attack this batter right here.
Jackson pulls back another bunt. Wiggins struggling to command anything right now. He's walked 2 batters this inning already. And he's behind here to another Kansas City hitter.
And there's been 5 pitches in a row that have all been balls.
Finley on the move. That one's down and in. And Finley easily takes second base. 8-2. Royals Nike RBI on top. They can truly bust it open here with a base hit. 2-ball count here to Jordan Jackson, who's worked 2 walks today. And that is, believe it or not, he went for it.
Yeah, he was kind of reaching for that one. He looked like he was trying to pull it back, but at the same time, it's just hitter's instinct, you know. You always want to have that bat on ball.
3-1 now, as he doesn't think about it whatsoever this time.
No, nothing to think about there. I mean, the one pitch that he tried to bunt down was one that he shouldn't have, with Wiggins not even throwing a pitch in the strike zone as of lately.
3-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2 on a fastball in the inside corner. It was a good pitch from Wiggins. Would have been a strike had he not swung.
Yeah, that's the first strike that we now see from Wiggins. That was a good piece of throwing right there. Let's see if he's able to capitalize on this next pitch.
3-2 with 2 out, 2 on the pitch. Jackson stays alive.
Some good fighting contact from Jackson there off of Wiggins. He's able to just keep himself alive for one more pitch.
That one nearly hits him, and it's ball 4. So they're loaded once again for Kansas City, and the top of the order is back up at the plate here in Ali Bishop Oliver. And time will be called for a meeting of the minds out there before the top of the order comes back up for their 5th go-around in a 7-inning ball game.
Yeah, 5th go-around in the 7th-inning ball game. It's kind of a rarity to see, but I mean, Kansas City has just been hitting. Definitely the airs have been eating up Gary, Indiana as well. But that hitting in that bottom 4 of that lineup of Kansas City has also contributed a lot to this offense. Walks have also been a big contributor, as you see. Wiggins not able to very much control the ball. He had 2 outs and now loads the bases with back-to-back walks. So there's a lot of factors that go into defensive play that Gary Indiana is gonna have to clean up in this upcoming game.
Which will be later on today. You can see them in a battle for the state of Indiana. Indianapolis Nike RBI and Gary Nike RBI going to battle. I'll be at 4:30 Central Time here on WCSN2 later on today. First pitch, Bishop Oliver takes outside for a ball. Kansas City, by the way, with 8 runs in this game, Across the 4 pool play games they played in last year's regional tournament, they've already surpassed their runs scored from 2023. Bishop Oliver in the air, shallow right center. Scott makes the basket catch, and that will retire this side. They've scored 6 all of last year. They've scored 8 today. And we go to the bottom of the 6th on the Windy City Sports Network. Last of the 6, 8-2, Kansas City Royals Nike RBI here. And Daniel Pineda will come on up to hit, and he grounds the first pitch to the right side. Dante Finley, with plenty of time, flips it on over for the out.
A quick flip right there by Finley. Was able to retire there.
Angel Segura comes on up now. Or beg your pardon, actually, this is the pitcher in Wiggins. Pineda moved just short on the play here during the pitching change. Wiggins evens out the count, one aside. Swing and a miss. Big cut there, and it's 1-2. Out of the line at the pitch. Fouls it back.
Good battling by Wiggins right there. Jackson just trying to get him out, trying to look for another strikeout. I mean, he has so many already today.
1-2. Good block there by Lanier for that one downstairs.
Lanier's been a unit as well. I mean, he has really great blocking skills that we've seen on display this whole game today. When you have a pitcher like Jackson, though, you don't really need as much blocking because he's just hitting that zone as much as possible.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Inside, and Wiggins in his first at-bat of the tournament works a walk.
Wiggins able to be up there, battle, get that first 1-2 count, and then hit a foul ball, and then work his way around to a walk.
So here is Ahmad Sweezer, and Dante Finley is going to go out there to the bump. Jackson's been so good today for this Royals team.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal today. I mean, only 2 runs given up. He's also had just so many strikeouts, as said before. I mean, there's not much this defense needed to do for him because he's been just doing it himself today. Just shoving today and just a phenomenal performance by Jackson.
Meeting has been dismissed. Jackson stays out there. One of those performances where he's only getting up 1 hit. Like, you'd love to see him finish this one off.
Yeah, you definitely want him to finish this one off. I mean, the 2 that were scored by Gary was kind of off of the defense more so, not really on Jackson whatsoever. I mean, sure, those balls were in play, of course, but the scenario where Jackson only has 1 hit on today's game, it's been, again, just a huge, phenomenal performance from him, just always controlling the zone and just making sure that he is being the head of that whole defense out there. There seems to be a little bit of a pause in play as Gary has some people in the pen.
They had to run down a catcher's mask into the bullpen because they forgot the mask back in the dugout. Now misses downstairs for a ball. Sweezer has struck out and has been hit by a pitch today.
Yeah, so Sweezer's looking to do a little bit of damage. I mean, nothing has been at the plate. The only appearance that he got was a hit by pitch.
On the ground at third. Sanchez's only play is at first because of the bobble. He gets him there. Runner going for third. That one gets away. It caroms down the left field line, and Wiggins will fly around and come in to score. So Sweezer is retired. He doesn't get an RBI, but it's 8-3.
Yeah, just as I was saying earlier, I mean, the only runs that Gary has really produced are off of errors, and another throwing error by Kansas City right there. Jackson looking to make sure that that slate is cleaner, and hopefully the Kansas City Royals are able, RBI team is able to make sure that slate is cleaner as a whole from the defensive standpoint.
I believe that run is unearned because the guy scored on an error.
Yeah, I would say so, because I mean, at that point, from Jackson's aspect, it's not much of a stressor, but as a team aspect, and then also tournament play, looking at run differential as well, it's kind of one of those aspects where it's like, oh man, you should have just eaten that one up.
Just the nature of just the stats and whatnot, and the way the game is scored. Wiggins would have been an earned run had there not been a throwing error, but because he scored on a play in which he wouldn't have scored on without the error, it should be an unearned run. So only 2 earned runs allowed, or I take that back, only 1 earned run allowed still for Jackson in this game.
Yeah.
Because if you go back, the first run was unearned as well back in the third.
Only 1 earned run and only 1 hit on the day. He's been pitching phenomenal.
Sanchez, low throw, good scoop by Navarro at first to end the inning. Man, he can pick it out there at first. We've seen that a couple of times. And the Royals head back to the dugout. We go to the 7th inning. Royals Nike RBI on top, 8-3. We're in the top of the 7th, and Gary goes to the bullpen. Again, the shortstop, the starting shortstop, I should say, Angel Segura, out there on the bump to relieve Darian Williams of his duties. And for just an inning of work in which he gave up just 1 run on 2 hits, that run was earned, and they left the bases loaded. 2-3-4 due up for Royals. Nike RBI. It starts with Saron Bryant. Busy day for him at the dish. Reached twice on a fielder's choice, driven a run on one of them. That one is a foul ball just to the left of the bag at third. That one hits him. So Bryant's aboard for the 2nd straight time.
That's okay for Bryant. We got some ice up here. He's going to be okay, but it's a unfortunate set of events for first batter up. You hit him right in the shoulder, a little bit by the neck area. Hopefully Segura is able to kind of withstand damage here as you're able to have one on.
There's a balk there on Segura, excuse me. Yeah, Sanchez will be the new hitter here in a moment. Segura trying to go out of the windup with run on first. That's a big no-no.
Yeah, big no-no right there. I'm not sure what he was completely thinking. Probably just used to that specific motion.
Pineda's the new shortstop, and he makes the play at first for the out.
Yeah, great play by Pineda right there. He's able to just securely throw him out right there, and Segura is able to go 1 pitch there, 1 out, and go on from there.
Miguel Navarro comes on up now for the 5th time as well. He is 1 for 4. He's has a single, and he's reached on a fielder's choice as well. That one rides upstairs for a ball. Navarro's been busy. A couple of great plays defensively throughout the course of this one, and obviously the hit his last time up, which was in the 6th. Led off the frame with a 1-2 base hit to left center field.
Yeah, it was a great base hit by Navarro there. If you guys were tuning in earlier this game, he didn't really have anything going for him until probably the last inning up there, and then he was able to get on base, and it was an amazing hit that he got. Let's see what else, what other damage he's able to do here.
Small lead off a second for Bryant. No one holding him on as the 2-0 comes in. That one misses away.
And Segura, I mean, a lot of these guys in Gary's bullpen have just been struggling with the command recently.
That's a 4-pitch walk. So hit by pitch, ground out, and a walk to start off the first 3 batters for Segura as a pitcher in this regional tournament. As Finley comes on up now after working a walk and a run scored his last time.
Yeah, and that defense, I mean, it kind of feels a little bit like a stock market in like the early stages. You have that hit by pitch, so it goes down, then it goes up a little because you get a runner out, and then down again with a bit of a dip with person on
up
base.
The middle and through past the diving Pineda. Around third comes Bryant. He will score as the ball's bobbled in left center field. Heads up base running sees both Navarro and Finley take advantage of the misplay. Give Dante Finley an RBI single, and it's 9-3 KC.
And Dante Finley has been having a day now. I mean, both batters back to back. It's kind of like another deja vu moment. We keep seeing a lot of them here within this homestand here, and it's very interesting how Dante is able to just capitalize on that.
First RBI of the tournament for him as Logan Lanier comes on up. The bottom of the order has done so much damage today for Royals Nike RBI.
Yeah, lots of damage done by Royals Nike RBI in that bottom of the order. It's been a huge threat for Gary. It's definitely one of the ages where that bottom of the lineup, it's a rarity, but you see it a lot. You see that as very interesting.
0-1. On the ground, Pineda with a nice snag. His only option is the first base and a high throw. Did he get the bag or not? He did not. Safe there at first is Lanier. Now the ball is misplayed on the throw. Back to the mound. Safe there at the plate is Finley. 2-run score on a ground ball to short. It's 11-3.
And the wheels just kind of keep falling off now for Gary, Indiana's RBI team. I mean, just off of that, you have the missed throw. He's able to get under it, and then you have the play at the plate safe there. Everybody is all safe, and Kansas City is able to capitalize huge in this inning.
It's an E6. 2 errors on that play, and heads up base running there from Lanier. Sees him take third.
Yeah, Lanier just catches Segura just completely lacking. It's almost as if he just took a little bit of a nap on the field.
Here's Dominic Johnson. 11-3 is the scoreline. Johnson fisted out of play into the stands on the first base side. Singled in a run his last time up. Now we're stranded at third in inning number 6. Oh, 1. Johnson takes that one. It's a 1-1 count.
And Johnson kind of just looking for his moment, looking for his pitch. 1-1 count. Now Johnson able to be on board, man. Segura kind of just looking at himself, trying to realizing, man, what do I do now here? It's you got 0 outs, you got bases on the corners, and this game just keeps falling apart for Gary, Indiana right now. It's a little bit of a tragedy that it's happening so late in the game too.
Yeah, they did so good for so long as that one is taken for a ball. Johnson steals second base. We're going to run on the assumption that the next game between Kansas City and Indianapolis will be running under a delay. It's supposed to start in 5 minutes time.
Yeah, I would say that this would be definitely a delay here as they're still finishing up this game with Kansas City still in it.
And one misses high. 2 balls, no strikes.
With them running up the run rule, though, and running it in their favor, you got to say that they're going to be high on their horses and really just happy to be playing this next game up against Indy, and it's going to be one for the ages.
So, and that's the thing, though. You might say, well, it's not baseball, like to up the score, like that's not part of the game. Well, in these type of tournaments, the #1 tiebreaker for the MLB Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament is head-to-head, which would include the instances of non-common opponents, but #2 is the lowest defensive runs allowed ratio. That's a strike, low throw, safe back there at third is Lanier. And then the third tiebreaker is total runs scored.
Yeah.
So all of this, even if the game's out of hand, these runs could mean and could have major implications come tomorrow night when we're entering the final couple games of pool play and the teams playing in Sunday's final is being determined, as Finley works a 5-pitch walk, excuse me, as Jordan Jackson comes up with the bases loaded.
Yeah, it's definitely one where you got to realize that every single number matters within baseball. I mean, a lot of sports have a lot of statistical means that matter, but within especially this tournament and pool play, you have to realize that the runs matter defensively and offensively, and figuring out as well as against opponent-wise who's winning what, and those will definitely matter when it comes to the championship game on Sunday.
0-1. Jackson cuts and misses, nothing in 2. Jordan Jackson, the hitter. 3 walks and a strikeout in this game. He had a bases loaded walk, so he gets himself an RBI. 1 out, 2 strikes, bases full. Nowhere to put the runner. As here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Big second out there for Segura. And there's 2 gone here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, good strikeout by Segura there. He's able to control and just have him going off, swinging on all 3 pitches, and he's able to just get him out of there.
Ali Bishop Oliver now for the 6th time today.
That's a crazy amount of times. It's very rare that you see someone within the span of only 7 innings having 6 at-bats. It's basically an inning.
Yeah, the only at-bat he did not, the only inning I should say he did not have an at-bat in was the 4th inning. No balls, 1 strike the count after that fastball found the outside corner. Here's the 0-1. Bishop Oliver leaves that one up and out of the zone. Count's evened out.
And Bishop Oliver having that only non-plate appearance in the 4th. It's also cool to notify all of you guys that the only innings that Kansas City has not scored in is the 1st and that 4th inning. Everything else, there's been at least 1 run.
And of those 5 innings in which they've scored, 4 of them have been for crooked numbers. That one is down and away from the catcher, De La Cerda, and in to score comes Lanier, make it 12-3 Royals Nike RBI.
Yeah, and they just keep pushing up more and more numbers. This is going to be the most crooked of them all, as they get 4 in this inning.
Twelve to 3. Inside, nearly clipped him. That's going to be ball 4. So they've batted around here in the 7th inning.
Let's see if they could just get it to 7. Let's just all get to 7 innings. Or I mean, no, sorry about that. Let's get to 7 at-bats per person.
I mean, 2 outs, I don't think that's going to happen. Just from, if you're looking purely from an odds standpoint.
Yes, yes.
From a mathematical odds standpoint,
The odds
likely.
are definitely not in their favor with that standpoint.
If this happened with no outs, I would still say odds aren't great, but you know what? There's no outs.
Yeah.
2 outs.
2 outs, yeah, you're kind of cutting it close there.
High fly ball out to deep left. Gorham underneath it makes the catch, and that will finally end the inning. Last chance for Gary, down by 9 here on the Windy City Sports Network 2. Bottom of the 7th, and Kansas City goes with a new pitcher, Victor Guerrera. Comes in here to pitch the last of the 7th, trying to shut the door here on this one. Royals Nike RBI leading by a score of 12-3. Gavin Moiter, James Winkin here.
Yeah, it's definitely a big margin that within that 7th inning, they're able to swing those doors open and let loose. Kansas City is now able to just pitch away here and hopefully close the doors on Gary never coming back in this game.
Strike one there. Top of the order for Gary Nike RBI. It's Ellis Gorham. And obviously, we'll talk more about Gary later. We'll see Gary tonight in the nightcap of our coverage here from day one of pool play. They'll take on Indy RBI. Battle for the Hoosier State. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Inside, it's 2-1.
Yeah, bringing up that one for the nightcap, that one should be a really good one as it brings up a lot of bragging rights for who's going to win that battle of the Hoosier State.
2-0. That one's tapped foul. And for Gary, it's become essentially an elimination game, that nightcap against Indianapolis. In the years we've been covering this tournament here in Chicago, no team with 2 losses has made the final.
Yeah, when you have 2 losses already in that first game, first day of pool play, it's going to be very, very tough for you to come back from that.
That by pitch there, and Gorham's aboard. Popped up near us, but it bounces off the top of the press box. A pinch hitter in here for Gary, Nike RBI. It's Devin Rosenfeld. Runner on the move, pitch caught on a miss, throw down. Not in time. Nice play there by Finley to make the catch.
And a nice snag right there. Finley is able to just jump on all the way up, use his height, snag that ball out of the air, thankfully making sure that it doesn't trickle on down all the way to the outfield and cause them another run.
Gorham, the stolen base there. And Kansas City, they got to come right back about half an hour from now or so, give or take, for the conclusion for their second game of the day. Popped up near us again, and that's on the roof.
I got it.
You don't got it.
I wish I got it.
Wish I did too. I mean, I'd be here boxing you out the entire time to catch that baseball.
Yeah, it's kind of what you did in Omaha one time. When
I think it was the opposite, where you boxed me out.
0-2 to the pinch hitter, Rosenfeld.
Well,
In there, got him.
For all of you wondering the story, we were both at the College World Series when we were 13 years old, and
Doing the Omaha trip that a lot of these travel teams go on.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun trip. There was one point where we all went to a game, and me being a fanatic for souvenirs, Kevin being a fanatic for souvenirs, we both kind of went for a ball. It was good times though. They have a
awesome environment for a baseball game. If you're a baseball fan at any level, Omaha and Oklahoma City for the Men's College World Series and the Women's College World Series, must visit places. The environments are awesome.
I will say that also a must visit is the concession stands for that giant snow cone that many people get.
Yes, I had that. It was really good. Another pinch hitter, Jorge Sanchez. Team from Gary, Indiana, starting to clear off the bench here, down by 9. Ball and 2 strikes. Guerrera fires. Tapped weakly. Guerrera backhands at the pitcher, fields his position successfully, and there's 2 away. It advances the runner to third.
Some good stutter steps from Guerrero there as he just cleanly fields that ball, throws him out at first. Now we're down to the final out.
Ravia Ford. Dying for himself, and he takes a strike. Ravia Ford 0 for 2. He did have the sacrifice fly in the 5th. That, you know, gave Gary some life and momentum in this one, and from there, it's been all Kansas City since that sac fly in the bottom of the 5th. Royals Nike RBI's outscored Gary Nike RBI 5-1.
Yeah, it's kind of been a silent day for Gary after that sac fly.
1-2 the count. Ford trying to keep the game alive. Guerrero trying to slam the door shut here. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Royals Nike RBI dominate and win it by a final of 12-3. And a full frontal domination here in game 1 of the tournament. It was close for a couple innings, but as the game progressed, Royals Nike RBI unleashed the beast that was their offense towards the end of it. And 12 runs is a good sign for them.
Yeah, 12 runs is definitely a good sign for Kansas City RBI team. They're able to be 1-0, which is something that they weren't in last year's tournament, and turn on the switch. As for Gary, Indiana, they're 0-1 and will hopefully have some things to talk about within that dugout and a few team meetings before they face Indiana later today. So we'll see how both sides do as this pool play progresses. 2
games down, 2 more to go. Indianapolis and Kansas City coming up next. Stay tuned to the Windy City Sports Network 2 YouTube channel, as we'll be live shortly with that one. For James Winkin, I've been Kevin Malater. You've been watching a presentation of the 2024 MLB Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament on the Windy City Sports Network.